everyone, welcome back to AndyDemos. You just heard the Wave Cannon Zero from Caroline Guitar Company. Of course, the Wave Cannon goes way back to the very beginnings, and we have all those classic oscillations to play with, but also some really great new features which haven't been offered on any of the previous Wave Cannons. So let's get into it. About 13 years ago, I introduced you to the original Wave Cannon from Caroline Guitar Company. It belongs to a small group of self-oscillating fuzz pedals that masterfully blend chaotic noise with musicality. The Zero model emerged when Caroline took an unreleased Cannon prototype and infused it with over a decade of refined fuzzstortion and circuit innovations. The new voltage control is helpful for achieving a starved, velcro-like fuzz, but it also helps fine-tune the sonic possibilities when the Havoc mode is engaged. The Havoc also gets an upgrade with either momentary or latching operation thanks to a smart soft-click footswitch and a corresponding LED. As with previous Cannons, the guitar's controls remain an extension of this fuzzstortion, going from light breakup to self-oscillation, often with a simple rollback of the volume knob. To expand on this, the pedal can now see the correct impedance regardless of its placement in the signal chain. Just push the side switch to select first or not. As with all Caroline guitar pedals, the Wave Cannon Zero is designed and built for your enjoyment in South Carolina, USA. Check it out at carolineguitar.com. So before we get into the Havoc, I just want to show you a nice starting point with the Wave Cannon Zero, and that's by rolling the voltage, that little trimmer on the right, all the way up, and then you just have your standard controls: volume, tone, shape, and gain. And here you can get some really dynamic fuzz tones and almost classic distortion with plenty of mid-range bite. So that's with that shape around midway, so it's kind of a warmer sound, a bit less mids. Now if we go either way, clockwise or counterclockwise, we're really going to emphasize some different frequencies. So without even touching the other controls, let's just adjust that shape. And we only have the gain around 9 or 10 o'clock here, so let's really explore those higher gain settings and see how it really changes the character of the Wave Cannon. And just to take a little bit of the hair off the edges, we have the tone control on the bottom left, and this is especially helpful if you have like a crazy oscillation going, or a high gain setting in this case. So I'm going to crank up the shape and the gain, so we're really going to just kind of pummel the amp I'm playing through, and then just kind of warm everything up with that tone knob. And if that weren't enough, we have that voltage control, and this really works in tandem with that gain control, because if you have a low gain setting, you're really going to sputter out early. So let's try some different combinations of those two knobs. So a nice surprise there. When you back off on the voltage, you could dial in some upper octave sounds kind of right before you get those dying battery effects. So it just a little goes a long way with backing off that voltage. Now with that being said, let's try the Havoc and see how that interacts with all of the controls I've shown, including the guitar's volume and tone controls. I've got kind of a almost sputtery low gain crunch here, and I've set it up so that the Havoc switch is actually going to just kind of make it even more of a Velcro sound, and we're not oscillating at this point. And of course, we could get there easily by backing off on some of these controls. And one of my favorite sounds on the Wave Cannon, no matter the version, is that kind of crumbling arpeggio that kind of goes down to a sub-octave. And this is really fine-tuned with the Havoc knob. So let's get into Havoc mode, and we're actually using a lower gain setting, which kind of makes it easy for those sub-octave sounds to kind of come in and overtake the guitar's dry signal. And last, I wanted to show you the Havoc mode with momentary switching. You don't have to change anything. It's all based on how you step on this switch. So if you just hit it once and hold down your foot, it'll remember that that's momentary. And then as soon as you let it off, you'll go back to your normal Wave Cannon setting. And for this setting, I'm just using a little bit of voltage starve to give a nice kind of thick, almost a bit of sag in there, but it's not really sputtering out. It's just a nice thick distortion. And then when I step on the momentary Havoc, it's going to add a lot more sustain and kind of freak out a little bit. Well, there you go, the Wave Cannon Zero, and it sure has been a pleasure to see the evolution of this pedal front and center, and you can find it at carolineguitar.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on another Andy demo real soon.